was Against Evil actually started? I believe it was year 2014. So how did it come together back then?
Yeah, so basically it all started as a classic rock cover band. So that was our first outfit. So me and Sashank, we were classmates back in our masters. And then, of course, there was a band called Echo. So that was the first time we all played together. And then after that, in the year 2013, that's when we thought we need to have a different outfit for our own compositions because all of us share this love for heavy metal. So we thought maybe we could have another band wherein we play our own compositions. So that's when we came up with the band called Against Evil. We started writing, and then the rest is history.
I'm always interested in the metal scene in other countries. So, how was the metal scene back then in Andhra Pradesh, or if you like India in general?
Oh, in Andhra Pradesh, there's zero. There's in Andhra Pradesh, in our city, there's no such thing as a scene for metal. So there's nothing in our state. But overall in the country, it's restricted to the metropolitan and the cosmopolitan cities, like the big cities. And of course, there are a lot of talented bands, and mostly inclined towards some death metal or yeah, extreme metal. So apart from that, there are also pretty good old school bands as well, but they are mostly situated in places like Mumbai, Bangalore, Delhi, places like that. Yeah, bigger cities. Yes.
Have you seen a lot of change from the 2014 to, let's say, today?
Not a very massive change as such, but I think it's pretty much the same. I think a lot of bands are releasing new music frequently. I think that is what I have seen, because we are from a very small city, very far away from the Indian metal scene. We live in a very tiny city by the beach, and we have zero metalheads here. I think the four of us in the band, we're the only guys who listen to metal in our city. So I think we're very cut off from the rest of the metal scene. And India is a very huge country. So the like Shravan said, the scene is mostly based out of the bigger cities, and we're very far away from that. So we have a few friends there, but we really can't tell what's really happening in those bigger cities. But yeah, there are, as he said, a couple of very good bands putting out amazing music. But unfortunately, in terms of opportunities, in terms of gigs and all, there's not a lot compared to the European or the European countries or America such.
Let's go to the End of the Line album then. Let's start with the writing process. How and when were these songs written?
I think we wrote a few songs, I think 4 or 5 songs before we left for our very first European tour in 2019. So I think we started writing at the end of 2018, maybe early 2019. We had a few demos recorded and we made our friends in Germany listen to the demos. That's what I remember in 2019. And when we got back from tour at the end of 2019, that's when we really started writing, and I think we finished writing by early 2020, and that's when we started recording it. And what most of you don't know is we recorded this album in 2 parts. So the first 5 songs you have on the album were recorded in 2020, and it was initially supposed to be released as an EP, a 5-song EP. With a European tour to follow in late 2020. But unfortunately, due to the pandemic, we couldn't do that. And since we were sitting at home, stuck at home, we thought of adding more songs, writing a couple more songs, and releasing it as a full-length album. So the rest of the 4 songs, I guess, were written late in 2020. We recorded them early 2021, and we released everything together as a full-length album.
And how was the recording process in the later one, for the later songs? Did the pandemic cause a lot of problems for the recording too?
I guess for us here in India, the pandemic, it has always been like this. There are waves like in other countries where we're stuck at home. We couldn't step out of the house for about 2 to 3 months, where it was very, very, very horrible. But after that, we had a couple of months where there were not a lot of cases, and we could step out of the house, with taking a little care. And also that's when we recorded the album. There were a few months, I guess, about December, January, where things were pretty good here in India. That's when we stepped out of houses. We traveled. I think we only went to the studio to record the drums and vocals. The rest of it, we have our own equipment at our in our jam room, so that's where we recorded. So that saved a lot of time for us.
Yeah, how has the overall experience been? It sounds like a bit of a difficult process, to change from EP to a full length and having all these problems because of the pandemic. So how has this process overall been for you?
Yeah, it was a difficult thing, of course, because what we planned was one thing, but we should say it is a good thing that we could get out more songs than what we have intended to. And of course, the recording process was also like it was pretty similar to the first and the second album, but when it comes to the the recording process of the compositions wise, I think we have stepped up our game in this. So we have enjoyed every bit of it in terms of composing, in terms of recording and everything. But of course, there were these breaks wherein that's not in our hands, of course.
Yeah, even through the breaks in making the album, where was kind of the inspiration for the lyrics and music coming from this time?
Different songs, different inspirations, I guess. A couple of songs from movies that we watch. A couple of songs, I guess. I think one song, "Metal or Nothing," was inspired by our European tour. If you don't know, we've toured Europe in 2019, and it was a completely crowdfunded tour. It was crowdfunded by our friends and fans, and they basically made it our dream come true. So that was a huge inspiration for us for writing this song. So that was an inspiration, and we don't really have a theme for an album. We listen to the instrumental songs and then we take it from there. What the song inspires us, we write about it. So we have songs about gladiators, we have songs about fast cars, we have songs about evil women, we have songs about heavy metal. So we write everything.
For the end, as you mentioned, the European tour in 2019 was a big inspiration for you. So if you could both just tell a bit what kind of experience that was for you personally.
Yeah, it was massive. The 2019 tour, like he said, it was a dream come true, of course, because that was the first time that we have played for crowds of that magnitude. And every show, of course, with Turok Open Air and all these bigger concerts, they drew a lot of crowd. But apart from that, the magic in that in every show. So we have enjoyed each and every bit of it. And of course, we met with new people, shared stages with these huge bands like Riot and Queen Strike and all these bigger bands. So of course, it was brilliant. And we were on the road for almost 60 days. So it was a first time experience for us, but at the same time, it's something that we can never forget.
And we also cannot forget the love and support that was shown to us by our friends and supporters in European countries, because they welcomed us into their homes. We were all basically strangers. We never met before. So that was the first time we met. We just probably talked with a few of them on Facebook. That's all. So it was crazy how awesome those guys have. They welcomed us into their houses. They basically treated us as family. They showed us around, and it was awesome, man. I mean, we've never felt something like that before, and we owe our music or whatever to them. And this is a huge inspiration for us to keep doing this. So whatever we do from now on will be for them. And even if we do not tour, we will definitely be back to visit our friends, because we have a lot of friends now in Europe.